According to the World Health Organization, nearly 100,000 people die each year as a result of natural disasters such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, tsunamis, floods, wildfires, and droughts, while over 150 million are affected. Violent natural disasters have been a part of human life since the dawn of time, but the death tolls from the most ancient of these disasters have been lost to history. Historians can, however, estimate the number of deaths associated with disasters that occurred during the Common Era, thanks to historical records and journals. The following natural disasters are the deadliest of all time, ranked from highest to lowest estimated death toll, according to such records. Number 1. The 1931 Yangtze River floods. Excessive rainfall in central China, in July and August 1931, triggered the world's deadliest natural disaster, the Central China floods of 1931. As spring snowmelt mixed with the more than 24 inches of rain that fell in July alone, the Yangtze River overflowed its banks. The flood inundated nearly 70,000 square miles, according to The Nature of Disaster in China, the 1931 Yangtze River flood, and turned the Yangtze into what appeared to be a giant lake or ocean. The current government estimate places the death toll around 2 million, but other organizations, including NOAA, believe it could have been as high as 3.7 million. Number 2. The 1887 Yellow River flood. In the late 1880s, the Yellow River in China was perilously located far above most of the land around it, thanks to a series of dikes built to contain the river as it flowed through central China's farmland. Over time, the dikes had silted up, gradually raising the river's elevation. According to the Encyclopedia of Disasters, Environmental Catastrophes and Human Tragedies, when heavy rain swollen the river in September 1887, it spilled over these dikes into the surrounding low-lying land, inundating 5,000 square miles. This flood killed between 900,000 and 2 million people. Number 3. The 1556 Shaanxi earthquake. The deadliest earthquake in history struck China's Shaanxi province on January 23, 1556. According to the Science Museums of China, the Temblor, dubbed the Jiajing Great Earthquake, after the emperor during whose reign it occurred, leveled a 621 square mile swath of the country. When their Yaodong collapsed, an estimated 830,000 people died. The exact magnitude of the quake has been lost to history, but geophysicists estimate it to be in the neighborhood of magnitude 8. Number 4. The 1970 Bola cyclone. A tropical cyclone struck what is now Bangladesh on November 12–13, 1970. According to NOAA's Hurricane Research Division, the storm's strongest winds measured 130 miles per hour, making it the equivalent of a Category 4 major hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. Before making landfall, a 35-foot storm surge washed over the low-lying islands bordering the Bay of Bengal, causing widespread flooding. The storm surge, combined with a lack of evacuation, resulted in an estimated 300,000 to 500,000 deaths. Number 5. The 2010 Haiti earthquake. On January 12, 2010, a magnitude 7.0 earthquake struck Haiti just northwest of Port-au-Prince, ranking as one of the 3 deadliest earthquakes in history. Haiti's status as one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere, combined with the country's lack of experience with large earthquakes, made it extremely vulnerable to damage and loss of life. Up to 3 million people were killed or injured as a result of the earthquake. Estimates of fatalities varied widely. Initially, the Haitian government estimated 230,000 deaths, but in January 2011, officials revised that figure to 316,000. There were approximately 160,000 deaths, according to a 2010 study published in the journal Medicine, Conflict, and Survival, while the USGS claimed even lower numbers, approximately 100,000. These disparities reflect the difficulty of counting deaths even in the modern era, not to mention the political wrangling over official figures. Number 6. The 1839 Corinna cyclone. The Corinna cyclone made landfall on November 25, 1839, at the port city of Corinna on India's Bay of Bengal, causing a storm surge of 40 feet, according to NOAA's Atlantic Oceanographic and Meteorological Laboratory Hurricane Research Division. Wind speeds and categories for the hurricane are unknown, as are wind speeds and categories for many other storms that occurred prior to the 20th century. Around 20,000 ships and vessels were destroyed, along with an estimated 300,000 people. Number 7. The 1920 Haiyuan earthquake. The Haiyuan earthquake was the largest recorded in China in the 20th century, with the greatest magnitude and intensity, said Deng Qidong, a geologist with the Chinese Academy of Sciences, at a seminar in 2010. The December 16, 1920 earthquake in Haiyuan County, north-central China, also shook neighboring Gansu and Shaanxi provinces. The magnitude of the earthquake was reported to be 7.8 on the Richter scale, but China now claims it was 8.5. There are also disparities in the number of fatalities. According to the USGS, the death toll could have been as high as 273,400 people, according to a 2010 study by Chinese seismologists. The region's high deposits of loess soils, according to a 2020 study published in the journal Landslides, triggered massive landslides that killed over 30,000 people. Number 8. The AD 526 Antioch earthquake. As with all millennia-old disasters, obtaining an exact death toll for the Antioch earthquake is difficult. When the Templars struck the Byzantine Empire city of Byzantium, now Turkey and Syria, in May 526, contemporary chronicler John Malalas estimated that approximately 250,000 people were killed. Malalas blamed the disaster on God's wrath, claiming that fires had destroyed everything in Antioch that the earthquake had not. According to a 2007 paper published in the Medieval History Journal, the death toll was higher than at other times of the year because the city was packed with tourists commemorating Ascension Day, the Christian feast commemorating Jesus' ascension into heaven. Number 9. The 1976 Tangshan earthquake. According to a U.S. Geological Survey report, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck Tangshan, China, at 3:42 a.m. on July 28, 1976. Tangshan, an industrial city with a population of about 1 million people at the time of the disaster, suffered a staggering 240,000 casualties. While this was the official death toll, some experts believe it was grossly understated and that the true death toll was likely closer to 700,000. According to reports, 85% of Tangshan's buildings collapsed, and tremors were felt in Beijing, China, more than 100 miles away. Tangshan took several years to rebuild to its former glory. Number 10. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. A catastrophic magnitude 9.1 earthquake struck undersea off the west coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, on December 26, 2004. The quake triggered a massive tsunami, killing approximately 230,000 people and displacing nearly 2 million in 14 South Asian and East African countries. The tsunami reached land in as little as 15 to 20 minutes after the quake hit, traveling at speeds of up to 500 miles per hour, giving residents little time to flee to higher ground. According to World Vision, a humanitarian aid organization, the tsunami wave reached over 100 feet high in some places, particularly in the hardest-hit Indonesia. The earthquake and tsunami are estimated to have caused $10 billion in damages. According to NOAA's National Centers for Environmental Information, this was the third largest earthquake in the world since 1900, and its tsunami killed more people than any other tsunami in recorded history. Natural disasters can be extremely deadly, and they've killed more people than wars and other types of conflicts in recent history. Our condolences go out to the victims of these disasters and their loved ones who have suffered a loss. We hope that this information can help prevent future deaths by raising awareness about natural disasters. If you like this information, Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on our push notification button so that you won't miss anything from our channel.